second episode of the Bachelors of Dice podcast, a podcast about Marvel Dice Masters, Avengers vs. X-Men, the brand new dice building game from WizKids. I'm one of your co-hosts, Adam, and with me are...
Kevin?
And Jesse.
All right. I guess this podcast was a few weeks coming. We've had technical issues over, the last 2 weeks, and we've had a lot of news, so we'll get down to the outline. I guess we're going to be talking about new impressions for any repeated plays, and we're going to go down through the news and touch upon our contest that we had from a few weeks ago. And then we'll do our information for everyone and then our closing segment. So, for our impressions and repeated plays, I was actually supposed to play today with a friend but didn't get to, so I actually wanted to talk about that game today, but I'm not going to have the chance to, but I'll probably touch up on some past stuff. Do you guys get to play this week at all?
Not this week. We ended up just playing board games at our games night.
I got the one game in against you, Adam, and then before that, I've had a chance to play here and there. Not as much as I'd like, but I'm definitely starting to notice a few trends, I guess, myself.
Yeah, same here. Actually, speaking of our game, it hasn't been posted yet, so I guess we could talk about it a bit beforehand.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to be posted for a while with all the editing, but I went with a full Avengers team, minus, I guess, Nick Fury and War Machine.
I tried out the Silver Surfer and then a cheap Beast. Which one did I use? It was not 666. It was...
Was it Genetic Freak?
The healing one?
Yes. Okay. Sorry, I should have... Genetic Expert. There we go. And he, I think, ended up being the star of my game, honestly.
Definitely.
Especially squaring off against Serena, Black Widow. Whenever I rolled him as a level 2, it was perfect because she would attack, he'd roll down to level 1, then get KO'd by her. So take no damage, actually heal a life, and do 2 damage to you in the process. It worked out pretty well.
It was ridiculous. I almost didn't want to attack with anyone because once I saw the Beast out there, I guess my only counter for Beast was my Hawkeye, which would do his attack damage when he got fielded, but I didn't get him out too much, and I only had one of his dice anyways.
Yeah, and I think the trick, the other nice trick that I pulled, which I learned from Jesse, was the Silver Surfer, using him on first turn to get an extra die. And then I bought a Beast die, and as it happens, I drew that Beast die in my second turn. And then I rolled 6 energy.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah. And so I had the choice between actually buying a Knucklehead, but I ended up buying the Silver Surfer die that I put out because of his ability. Since you had more life than me at that point, I got to draw an extra die each clear and draw step, which also ended up being huge. It was probably a good 4 or 5 turns worth of extra die draws.
Mm-hmm.
So that just ramped up. Out. Yeah, that ramped up my energy nicely.
It was amazing.
And I used him as long as I needed to, and then Beast started regaining me life while knocking Jesse down. So then I didn't really need Silver Surfer anymore, other than for his powerful attacks.
Knocking Adam down.
It's okay. He beats us all.
He does. Yeah, one of the things I really, really, really wanted to get in the game was Iron Man and War Machine out. I end up purchasing each of their dice, but I never got War Machine out, which was really sad.
Which War Machine were you using?
I can't even remember which one it was.
It wasn't the +2, was it?
No, it was something. I think it was he knocks out a character when attack.
Yeah,
I honestly...
That's a really neat one.
Yeah, and that was the whole thing. Like, I field him, he knocks somebody out, and if I have Hawkeye out, then he can knock somebody out too, depending on his stats compared to your stats. So yeah, I had an okay plan, but it just didn't work out for me at all. And it was Beast's fault.
That Beast is pretty good counter to Serena, I think. Mm-hmm. Especially if you're not rolling a level 3.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So for all the games you guys have been playing, have you been trying out the same team a lot, or just a couple different teams, or a bunch, like a different team every single time, or how do you guys attack the team building?
I have a few teams that I have pre-built. I have them in like this deck box thing, so I'm constantly tinkering with them, but the core of their team is kind of staying the same. But depending on what my friends are running, I'll sometimes change it up just to like, if I'm getting dominated, I don't want to lose all the time.
Let's put a stop to this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm using a lot of low-key Gem Keeper.
Okay. Do your friends then run Magneto to make you re-roll it, or?
Not yet.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
I mean, if Loki's the only villain that you're running, then it is kind of a waste for somebody to put that in.
So the Magneto, the counter
Yeah.
puncher.
But if you have 8 characters to put out there and you're never going to use all 8, then I mean, I could definitely see throwing Magneto in one of those slots.
Right.
I'm finding that I'm still using, I think, the same 4 low-level characters just for the purchasing cost for the 2s and 3s. But then my level or my purchasing cost 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are always changing to see what combinations are the best.
Okay.
But it's just getting like low-level guys that like Black Widow or Beast. Obviously, you always want to have at least a Beast in your team.
Yeah.
I don't think I've played a game where each person didn't have Beast.
Yeah, the one game that Jesse and I played last week, I had a lot of 2-cost characters and pretty much as many as I could put out there. And then my plan was to get a Colossus rare at some point, which does the 2 damage per level 2 or above character that you have in the field at the end of your turn.
Mm-hmm.
But it just took way too long to set up, and I just couldn't. I couldn't block enough of Jesse's attackers.
Was your whole team low level and a Colossus?
Mostly. I don't think I ever bought anything that wasn't a 2, other than like one of the last few turns I finally bought the Colossus, and then I think the next turn I lost.
I don't even remember what team I ran then. Was it like the Avenger team?
I believe it was. It was definitely Black Widow and Nick
Hawkeye?
Fury.
Right.
It was
The
the
one
Nick
that-
Fury that did the double damage
Right.
for unblocked Avengers. And so I was spinning down to counter Serena as much as I could, but there was a couple times I just had to let it through. And I think you had a couple Hawkeyes too that would
Yeah.
then pick off some of my cheapies.
Yeah. I
So
can't
that
wait
was
for some.
that was interesting.
Can't wait for some more Avengers.
In the mock-ups of the original Gravity feed for the Uncanny, you could see I guess it would be a Panther head on the box. So I think it's Panther, right? Black Panther?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, so I assume that he's going to be in it since his head was on the
The
box.
Falcon, I would assume.
So it sounds like from reading the forums that Zarina, Black Widow Zarina, is pretty much one of the most popular cards to play. Are you? Well, yeah. I mean, I'll go ahead and say this: that the one time, not this past week, but the week before, when Adam and I played, you had asked like, "Are we playing with super rares or not?" Which I think was kind of telling that okay, the super rares are that powerful, I guess.
This was before you had opened all your boosters, right?
Correct. It was actually later that night when I finally opened my Knucklehead. But I currently don't have Zarina, and I'm very, very tempted to just plunk the money down on eBay and get a copy or something. Everybody's gonna
wait
be
a bit.
running. Yeah, that's true too. I mean, the game is still fresh, and the market is probably could get flooded once the next wave finally hits.
That's what I would assume.
Of all the cards, when I got her, I didn't really care, but after actually using her, I was just like, I'm really happy I got this card because it's really good. I think the main issue is that she costs 2 to buy. If she was like a 4 or higher, I could see her maybe not being as desirable for people to put in their teams, but just 2 seems way too cheap for what she can do.
Yeah, you can win games by first turn buying 2 of her, second turn buying 2 of her, and then you don't have to buy anything for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Have you done that?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
I haven't myself.
I just try to keep all my sidekicks out, so I'm like rolling them every turn.
Yeah. No, I mean,
It's
obviously,
not fun.
yeah, it doesn't. I'm sure it'll. I'm imagining that's how a lot of tournament games could play out, though.
That's why I started trying to figure out counters. That's how I came up with that Silver Surfer first turn by Loki.
Yeah.
And then just throw down Loki and that shenanigans right there.
Yeah.
Hopefully they bought a few beforehand.
That was stupid in my game against Adam. I finally did I bought a Loki. I think I couldn't roll his character face to save my life a couple times that he came up, and then finally I did, and I completely forgot to use his ability. Although it was so late game at that point that it didn't really matter.
I felt bad because when you realized that you hadn't done it, I had already drawn out the 4 dice, and you're just like, well, I don't want to pick the dice you just drew out because now I know. Yeah.
I mean, the reason I was using it was to counter Serena, so chances are that would have been the one I picked. But like I said, it didn't affect the outcome of the game, I don't think.
Oh God, no. Not after my health just dwindling down. So much fun though. I think every single time I play the game, I'm just more and more excited to play again.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's definitely a trend that I'm experiencing as well. Is that I play and I really want to play again. Unfortunately, since I'm prone to play a little bit slower than the average person, just because of my analysis paralysis. That yeah, sometimes the games go a little bit longer than they should, and I can't really start a second one right away. But definitely
Yeah.
like to.
I do find playing online, it goes longer because you're almost constantly asking each other, what card do you have? What do you
Yeah,
have
that's
out?
true.
Because you can't just look really easily. You can see it, but it'd be like, is that level 1? Is that level 2? Is that level 3?
I totally forgot in our first time we tried this through the. I want to talk about this, but me and my friends, we all had gathered at our local game store to kind of demo it on the free
Hmm.
comic book day, and I don't know, we got there. A bunch of the guys still hadn't had played yet. Just I think two of us had, so they're like, "Oh, let's get this going," and they're like, "Well, let's just play like a multiplayer game to start," which, by the way, is probably the worst way to learn the game. So we're like, okay, whatever. So we played some like two-headed giant type games. For those of you who know Magic, that's a popular four-player format where it's like
Okay.
teams, two players are on a team and they share health and they do their turn at the same time. And in Magic, you just double your health, and that's what we tried. We had no knowledge that it would go good or bad, and the game just went so long. Like it took like an hour and a bit to finish that game, and it was so bad. Like one of the guys was like, I can't believe I bought this game. We're like, we had to convince him, like, no, just play one more, play a one-player game. Now he likes it, but yeah, that was not fun. I don't think I'll ever want to play a.
I know some people online were saying the multiplayer is good if you don't play
Yeah, that's
globals.
one of the big things we had. It was like 10 different globals rolling around.
Hmm.
And people just like, if we got to a point where no one was ever buying any dice, you just save all four of your dice for globals,
Huh.
Yeah,
and 40
yeah.
minutes in, no one had done any damage.
I almost find even playing single player or two-player games, the less globals you have, the more fast-paced it
Yeah.
is, and you're still focusing more on your characters than on special abilities trying to psych out the person that you're playing
Sure.
against. Because even what I'll do is, if I have an extra die that I know I'm not going to use on a global, I'll keep the question mark to make the player think I'm going to use it. Then they actually save their energy making it so they can't purchase higher guys as
Yeah.
well.
And I mean, we did try another multiplayer game a different night. We played, you can only attack the person on your left. So that went
Hmm.
okay. It was a little complicated to figure out whose abilities affects who. Like, I was using the venom that makes all your, I think it's non-fist guys or non-villains. I can't remember. Go down -2, -2,
It's non-fist.
non-fist. So I was like, does it apply to both guys on my left? Does it apply to all three people? So yeah, it's a
Hmm.
little complicated when you get into multiplayer, but that's the same with any card game.
All right. So I guess we can jump right into the news.
And there is a lot of it.
Oh yes, this was the biggest part of the we're gonna call it the lost episode, I guess. But yeah, so I guess the first part of the news is the first month OP card images were released, and I guess this is back now. If I look at the page, if it's dated,
May 7th.
weeks ago.
I guess that's the good thing about us taking so long to actually record this episode, is the just the amount of news that has come out.
Yeah. So I think the first card that was shown was it Teamwork?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
It's Teamwork, basic action card. Costs 3 to purchase, and the text is each of your fielded characters gains +1 attack, +1 defense for each other of your fielded characters that share a team affiliation with it.
It's pretty good.
And
That's pretty stinking good.
That team
mhm,
that I played you against, Kevin, that Avengers team,
Yes,
I've been
yes.
using that action in it. Like I printed it off. It's pretty dang good if you can, even if you sneak one or two Black Widows through, take like half their health down.
Yeah, it's not going to be in the first month OP, but by God, it's going to be in the second month, I'm sure. I mean, in the tournaments.
Right.
Now, I don't know if you guys saw the thread on Board Game Geek since we mentioned the tournaments, but some people are asking if they would be allowed to participate in tournaments if they brought the proxied sets that
Ooh.
you could print up
Oh,
for yourself. that WizKids released.
Right.
Yeah, I imagine the proxy sets, but those are really only the action cards, right?
Yeah, I think
And
just
the
the act.
sidekick dice.
Yeah, that's what
Hmm.
I would assume would be okay.
Yeah.
Because everyone should be, anyone who's participating should have that stuff. You're ever going to go into a game without sidekick dice. But
And then yeah, just two printed off action cards. Yeah, I can't imagine that would be a big deal. But as far as anything else, proxy, no, I imagine that would get tossed.
All right, the second card, which I actually don't have the information in front of me for some reason.
I have
So,
it
excellent.
printed. Just let me bring it up. So we're talking about wait, are we talking about Thor?
Yes.
Okay, I don't
Yes.
have that one printed.
I know it's called Thor the Mighty, cost of 7, but I don't have the card text in front
I
of me
think
at all.
paraphrased loosely, it's when he's fielded, he can knock out a fist character and gain life equal to their level.
That's pretty accurate. I'm looking at it right now. So yes.
Oh, really?
You're
Nice.
pretty much exactly correct.
I'm just going off like how the flow of most of the cards go.
I don't know if you guys knew this, but the artwork that he's faced up against is the Phoenix Force. I'll throw that in there now because I didn't know it last time.
I made some dumb comment about not knowing what it was.
We can edit this out, right?
No, it's
Damn
definitely
it.
everything's staying in. It's like, what is he in front of? We're just like, really?
But the other one, the action card in the second kit, I have that information in front of me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, before we go to that, what do you think of the Thor card? I mean, it's a 7 cost. It's pretty expensive. Are all the Thors like 6s or are any of them 7s?
I think
they're all 6s.
3 of them were 6s. Yeah, I think they're all 6s.
Okay. So this one's more expensive.
Is there?
And it only knocks out an opposing fist character.
Which is classic Thor right now.
Right.
Mhm.
So how many 7 costs is there? 2? 3?
In the game?
Like there's the Cyclops, Jean Grey, and a Doctor Strange. Is that all?
That sounds right.
That's a good question.
I mean, I've tried to play a bunch of them, and they're really hard to get out.
Oh, the Colossus has
Mhm.
a couple 7s. Cyclops has 2 7s. Doctor Strange has 2 7s.
There's a Loki that's a 7, I think, too.
Okay, yep, correct. Can make that a trivia question at some point. Phoenix, not the Silver Surfer.
There's a thing as well.
Oh, is there?
So there's more than I thought. Either way, my point is like I haven't been able to really get any of them out. Silver Surfer as well. But yeah, I'm just wondering how playable it is. I wonder.
And does that mean you don't care about actually winning the card in the tournament?
Oh, I want it. I want to put it in my sleeve and then stick it into my box with all my other stuff and never play it.
Yeah, I like the artwork on that card too. Did you say it was straight from the comics?
I think every single piece of art is straight from. It's all been used before. None of it's original.
Okay.
I guess so. Month 2 is next, obviously. Rally is the basic action card, cost of 3. And once again, I don't have the card text in front of me.
Where was this spoiled? Because I don't think I actually saw that.
It was spoiled the same page, the Thor and the Rally. I don't know why that one got spoiled and not Spider-Man, the other.
Yeah, Spider-Man's one I want to know about. Rally's really cool, but...
Oh, it's really good with Gobby. So Rally, 3 cost, basic action, and its ability is you can move up to 2 sidekicks from your used pile to the field. So I assume you just take any old sidekick, flip it to the sidekick side, and then it has a double burst ability where you can move 3. I mean, you don't have to use it in a Gobby deck, but like it'll lessen the amount of sidekicks you pull.
It's the only time that Rally wouldn't come in handy is if you have no sidekicks in your use.
Sure.
Obviously, which in that case you have 50% chance to get energy.
It's basically like a good power bolt for a Gobby deck, a better power bolt.
Yes. And then the other card was Spider-Man the Amazing, which absolutely no information other than he's affiliated with the Avengers,
which is awesome. And it looks to be he has an ability or a global that he has to pay 3 fists.
That's gotta be powerful.
So, I mean, if that you can make out 2, right? But I don't know if that's third one is a fist or not.
I think it's definitely 3 fists.
I think it is 2.
It says Spider-Man attack something, and that's the most I can make out. So it's cool to see 2 Avengers characters in the first 2 months of organized play.
Well, it's basically a new Avengers character with Spider-Man.
It's true, yeah. Month 3, you got Wolverine, walking his own path, and a basic action card, Deflection.
I guess you can note that,
Unaffiliated.
well, yeah, Wolverine's unaffiliated.
Mhm.
He looks super jacked in this picture. Oh, I don't know. Did we even mention the change to organized play? Before they were offering each kit, that's $5. The kit would include 10 of the basic action cards for each participant, and then one card with the limited prize. But now they're including 3 of the prize
Mhm.
cards.
Oh, yeah,
which,
I forgot that was a change.
yeah, and they
Yeah.
also included that I think somewhere on their website that usually whoever is the judge or the ref, I don't know whatever you want to call them, is allocated one of the prize cards as like payment or whatever, as
Mhm.
long as they're not participating, obviously.
Yeah. When I was actually looking at this Wolverine card, the first thing I was thinking is, why would it be beneficial to have him not affiliated with the X-Men? But then realizing when you're facing, I think it was Magneto, he gets benefits for facing off against X-Men. So this Wolverine could be even more powerful against him as an attacker or even a blocker, depending on what his text is.
I wonder if it's going to be like follow the trend of all the other Dice Master stuff where he's going to have an ability similar to his other ones. I hope not.
It'll have to be. I would assume that's something that's like when Wolverine attacks alone,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah,
what
that's what I
happens.
assume.
Even walking his own path.
Kind
Just-
of.
Which is
leads you
what
to
he's already
believe.
been doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Oh, but yeah, the 3 prizes looks like they're given for first, second, and fellowship, I guess.
What's fellowship? Is that the one that you give to whoever's doing whatever?
No,
Right.
I believe it's actually. I haven't really looked into it. I think I just heard about it on another podcast recently, where every game that you play, you kind of rate your opponent from like a sportsmanship perspective, and at the end of the whole tournament, whoever's got the highest rating for sportsmanship wins the fellowship prize. So it kind of promotes the good sportsmanship aspect
Sure.
of
My-
winning and losing.
My friends are going to love that.
I'm going to bake cookies and bring them to my game. What about you guys?
Massage the guy's feet as we're playing.
Yeah.
I'll bring some Capri Sun. I guess for the deflection, because there's really no description whatsoever for it, probably just deflecting energy.
Damage or something.
Yeah, there's really nothing.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't Vibranium Shield kind of already do that? Isn't there a global?
No,
Or no?
Iron Man has an ability that deflects damage to characters, but Vibranium Shield just stops a damage.
You want to jump to month 4? So I'll go to the basic action dice first, since it's really, or basic action card first, since there's really not too much to discuss about it. It's a teleport, which could mean any number of things. Teleporting dice from maybe your KO or your used pile to the field or anywhere else, but yeah, nothing for that. But the other card,
The Juggernaut
Yes.
Phoenix Force Colossus, he's got to be super powerful, like an 8 cost or something.
I wouldn't doubt it, yeah.
Something with a really, really good.
Oh man, I didn't realize the text is kind of see-through, or the month 4 banner is a kind of see-through.
I'll zoom in.
See something out the
Knockout.
something.
Cost. I can't read any of that.
It's some knockout the something. In the
Yeah.
yeah
got
in the
nothing.
basic action card though, who's that standing next to Cyclops? Besides
Magneto and-
Magneto.
Magic, possibly?
Who's
Yeah.
Magic?
It's Colossus' sister.
Okay. Oh, so that's fitting that she comes out at the same time Colossus does.
I hope we
And-
get to see an actual character of her.
I guess she's a teleporter. Dumb question.
Yeah. Oh, now that I think about it, Adam, you read the series, right?
Yes.
So jumping a little bit ahead, but looking at the Uncanny X-Men expansion, we kind of see what looks to be a Namor dice
hmm
and an Emma Frost dice. So those are 2 of the member. Oh, wait, Emma wasn't. What? Yeah, she was of the Phoenix Force that got split, right?
Mhm.
And then Magic was the other one.
Yeah, so the only person you're missing is Magic.
Right. I wonder if they include her just based purely upon that. Like, if you're gonna make a Phoenix Force faction, that really can only include maybe those 5, the Phoenix Force itself, and maybe Jean Grey. Like, you gotta throw her in.
Yeah, well, with Invisible Woman not showing up, I don't know.
All bets are off.
Yeah, all bets are off with her not being there. And then the one thing that we didn't mention for Colossus is his affiliation is Phoenix Force, which is a new affiliation for the game.
Yeah, that's what I was alluding to. I guess I should have outright stated that.
Yeah, and on
The next best one.
Yes, the Iron Man Phoenix Buster, which, as everyone knows, Iron Man makes a new suit for everything, because what else is he gonna do? And I brought up in the last episode that it looked like a rejected Optimus Prime that just didn't make it onto the team. So yeah, so it's an Iron Man in a dumpster-looking costume.
Space dumpster.
Exactly, yeah. Which I'm assuming it's gonna have a counter against the Phoenix Force affiliation. Maybe, I would assume.
If you kind of look at it, I don't know if anybody's ever played Borderlands.
Mhm.
That's what it kind of looks like, the little thing that you spawn at, / save at, / whatever those things are called, little computers that fold out.
It's true. He does have a little boxy little robot shape.
A little eye thing. Anyway.
Yeah, the action card is Collateral Damage, which shows Iron Man kneeling what it looks like on the ground.
So when you bust phoenixes, you cause collateral damage.
So my question for that one was, we kind of already see 2 cards in the set that do collateral damage. In that, the Mjolnir that does 4 to every character, and then Focus Beam. So I wonder how different this is, if it's just going to be damage or straight up just KO everybody.
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, it's always interesting with the basic action cards to see what kind of benefits you're going to get from them. All right. And then to the final month 6, where you also have the grand prize. So the first card is Cyclops Phoenix Force. So this is going to be a pumped up version of Cyclops, I assume, part of the Phoenix Force affiliation. And his card art is actually pretty cool because I think it's when he's first revealed with the actual power, and he doesn't need his visor, which is nice if you read the comic books, anyways.
Spoiler alert.
I'm sorry,
Yeah, it's all right.
It's on the card. But yeah, that's with Cyclops already costing 7, I assume that's going to cost an 8 or maybe even higher.
Which I don't know why they decided to make Cyclops so high costing. I never really pegged him to be a super A-lister damage dealer.
Well, he could always do lots of damage. He just never did. It almost seems like the Cyclops was always wasted, where he could just blow anything up or just shoot massive lasers out of his eyes, but he never does. Just shoots little bolts.
Part of this is coming from me not liking him.
Yeah, I don't think anybody likes Cyclops.
Actually, one of my friends sent me an email with a link to some guy who wrote this big article about how much he hated Gambit, and everyone, like tons of people railed on him.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And then we're like, well, how can you hate Gambit? You probably like Cyclops. And then he's like, well, actually, Cyclops is my favorite. And then wrote this ginormous article about how great Cyclops is.
I'm not a Gambit fan, but I'm definitely not a Cyclops fan.
I despise Cyclops. Especially after this story, which I will not spoil.
I should be reading it shortly.
Okay, next card. We got at basic action. It's Takedown. No idea what that is.
Looks like Spider-Man is standing. Or wait, is that Captain?
Yeah, it could be.
It is Captain.
Yeah.
You can shoot his shield.
His boot, too.
Yeah.
But it's 3 cost. Someone's getting pounded into the ground, it looks like. That's about it. Got no prediction for that one.
Yeah.
But then the big mama, the grand prize for the season, is the Phoenix Force of Nature. Yeah, you guys want to
10 cost.
It'll seem like you'll never get that out.
Yeah.
If you thought getting a 7 cost out was hard, 3 more energy.
I think our best prediction from the lost episode was that if you get this die out, you win.
Yeah, that's what I'm expecting it to be.
It's got to be. It'll be amazing if it's like something that nobody will ever use or super wimpy or something, but it'd be interesting to see if it was something super powerful that somebody figured out a way to build their team around.
Mm-hmm.
The instructions for each organized play event were kind of interesting too, because it kind of spells out what the point system is going to be for each event, and it seemed like it would be pretty straightforward and that they'd all be the same, but then kind of looking through them we realized that they change, and it looks like 1 through 3 events 1 through actually it says right on one of the sheets that for events 1 through 3 all players receive 1 point for attending, 1 point for losing, and 2 points for winning a match, but then in month 4 it jumps up to actually no, the points stay the same except they added an extra point for winning the event, so you'll get the bonus card and you'll get an extra point for that. Month 5 think is the same. Oh, no, it goes up to 2 points for winning the event, but everything else stays the same. And then month 6, I guess, is kind of a catch-up mechanism, perhaps. You get 4 points per win instead of 2, and then you get 3 points for the event win. So if you play 5 months and you're way behind, or 5 to 10 points behind the leader, all hope is not lost. You could catch up to him in a hurry with a bunch of wins
It's
in month
almost like
6.
it's like the classic gym class. Next point wins. Just show up the last week with your participation. Just run the table. Maybe win, depending on how far ahead that person was.
Yeah, so that could make for some interesting tales.
So I guess before we move on to the next thing, are you guys planning on participating in the OP?
Yes,
Yes.
I am hopefully planning on getting at least the action card for all 6 months, but whether or not I'll take home any of the exclusives, I don't have much hope for that.
I'm still waiting to hear if my local store is going to be getting them, which so far it looks like not. So
I actually looked at the WizKids event system search database or whatever and found that my 2 local game stores are having the first month event on June 14th and June 15th. And so it's Father's Day weekend, so I might be using that as leverage for letting me go to both. In more likelihood, I'll be going to one of them.
I was just gonna say, you might, if you go to both, you might be able to trade off or at least sell off one of your extra action cards to get the exclusive card.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, I didn't think about that. The other thing I'm wondering, though, is I guess we can kind of get into with the next bit of news, is if the OP events are really starting next month, is there enough people to participate? Will people be getting shut out because they still don't have starters?
Which could be very well the reason why they had that scale system for points, because they know some people aren't going to get their starters for another month or 2.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Plus, it needs to catch on, right?
Also true.
So, I guess we can go on to the next bit of news now, as we just started touching upon it. It's the update on the next wave of starters and boosters, which I know some stores have actually started to receive them and sell out already.
Yeah,
So I don't know if you guys have seen any in stores.
I keep canvassing my local Targets and still have yet to see a single copy of anything in any of them. I haven't touched base with my local game stores to see if they ever got another wave, but I imagine if they did, that they probably sold out pretty quickly.
Yeah, same with me. I've checked my local big box stores, seen nothing, but I meant to go to my game store today, but I didn't have the chance. Because I wanted to grab another starter to get some of the starter kit or starter character dice that I was missing.
Yeah.
Thor. So I still just have 2 for him. But yes. So I guess the reprint number 1. I assume reprint number 1, that's already most likely sold out for everyone now.
Yeah, this was a blog post, I think, on the WizKids website from May 9th, which was now 2 weeks ago. And in that, they said that the first bit of news was the starters. They were getting them airmailed, and that they should be hitting the stores. They probably should have hit already, like we just kind of talked about.
Yeah, late last week is when they should have been in store, and then some hitting the beginning of this week. So yeah, I assume that the reprint number 1 for starters are all gone. I know that the one website that I got some of my stuff from definitely got some, and they're already gone as well. And then boosters for July.
Yeah, this was surprising to me because from the initial release of the game, it seemed like you could not find a starter anywhere, but you could find plenty of boosters everywhere. So I just never thought that the booster supply was that dwindling. But if the first reprint isn't coming until July,
Yeah.
and then they talk about a second reprint for both starters and boosters too.
Yeah, and the second reprint is for the end of August, so beginning of September when Uncanny X-Men comes out.
Yeah.
So you could actually see the second print coming in stores the week before the second series comes out.
And is that a good idea for them to do that?
Yeah.
I don't know. It gives people a choice. I mean,
Yeah.
those who don't have it, they could get a choice. I mean, when you think nowadays with Magic the Gathering, they're always having new sets come out. So it's not like it's hampering
Mhm.
them that much. But for us being at the starting point of a game, it might look a little funny for a set to have both their first set and their second set kind of released at the same time.
It makes me believe that you're not going to see the secondary market prices go down anytime soon.
Yeah.
I mean, at the price point it's at, I think you'll still see people buy both sets. Like, they'll just go into a store and they have both, they'll probably pick up both.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them for reprinting a second time. I mean, God
Oh,
knows
no,
there's probably
sure.
going to be demand for it. Yeah, I'm just curious if it's really going to time up, or if it's going to line up time-wise with the X-Men release. It's like, hey, great, our second shipment of this came in. Oh, and this whole brand new product just came in too.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
like, well, which one do you think people are going to buy more of? I don't know.
I know I would buy more of the X-Men one.
I would too.
I'm no longer buying any of them.
And I wonder if a lot of people are scooping the ones they see up now just because the resale value is so high. I mean, I'm hoping that more people are getting the game that, have been waiting for the game, but I'd be tempted to buy more copies just because I knew I could almost double the money that you spent.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how high the prices are going to go once the first set's officially discontinued, when they're actually not printing it anymore, which won't happen for a long time, but
People will hate you on Board Game Geek, Kevin, if you get
yeah.
I
I should
briefly
buy every
mentioned.
starter that could.
I mean, ordered quite a bit and I sold a few extras. But I mean, it's not my fault that they sold for lots. I put them up for
Oh
$1,
no.
sold for $40. Like, that's not my fault.
No,
Mhm.
you're giving the game to somebody that wants it that badly.
Yeah.
So,
But I mean, if I was like putting it up $40, buy it now, it's a little different.
Yeah,
And
at that point, then they're like, this jerk,
yeah.
he's demanding this money. Where if you put it at a set price and you let people bid, that's their own decision. You
Sure.
can't help that.
And I mean, I have always said to my friends looking at eBay stuff, sometimes you just come across that one guy who has like bottomless pockets full of money and they just want to pick this thing up right now. And this just happens to be the only one available right then. So they're just going to bid on it
Hmm.
till they win. And sometimes you get two of those guys at the same time. And that's where we see some of these ginormous, like $50, $60 for a starter.
Yeah.
But yeah, my wife actually saw at the store in just across the border. She was checking out. She has a friend that has a game store, and he had a bunch of the starters in last week. She's like, "Oh, should we buy them? Sell them on eBay?" I opted to help out the community by saying no.
oh wow, that was nice. Yeah, I keep going to Targets kind of for that express purpose, just to see if they have product in, and if it was physically in front of me, I'd probably buy it. Buying from an online store that has them in stock, I'm less tempted to buy just because then I have to pay for shipping and stuff.
Sure.
Hmm.
Although, again, you could probably make it back. But no, I mean, free market economy. If somebody's willing to pay, then there's no reason that you shouldn't be
Oh,
able to
for
sell it
sure.
guilt free.
You should not feel guilty unless you're twisting someone's arm to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty. The next piece of news was the Origins game fair, which WizKids announced they were canceling the tournament that they had set up for Marvel Dice Masters because they'll have nothing there to actually sell people for the event.
Yeah. So this kind of goes into the OP kind of discussion that we just touched on too. That
Mhm.
if the OP events are starting in June, which is when Origins is, then there's going to be a lot of complaining out there probably about not being able to play the game and not being able to participate because they don't have the product. And so good. I mean, it's a good move on their part to kind of say, sorry, we messed up, and this will be the right move for. I mean, it stinks for the guys, people going to Origins that were kind of counting on this. Although I don't know if anybody's necessarily going to Origins just for this game. I don't know.
One thing we also didn't really mention was wondering if when the Uncanny comes out around like the third or fourth month of the OP, will it be legal to use in the next months after that, or will you have to wait till like the next season to use it?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Which I'm
That's
sure
very
they'll answer in September, but
yeah, or not. I don't know. It seems like they're they're not answering many questions these days.
yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
closed door. Apparently, answers are coming, but we don't know when and don't know what ones.
Kevin, you were thinking about going to Gen Con, right?
Yeah, that's going to be a theme throughout the summer, I think, until maybe even like a couple weeks before.
Do
It's
they
tempting.
do they sell out fast, or how does their I don't
Well,
I
that's a great question. I don't think they'll ever sell out. I think they'll let anybody in to Gen Con, but they do ticketed events also, and those are the things that sell out
Right.
quickly. Now I know there's a bunch of Marvel Dice Masters tournaments throughout the weekend, although I'm not sure. I'm curious if they're just going to be like a standard OP event or if they're going to be like a con exclusive kind of part that you'll get like a participation con exclusive participation thing for that. But I think the more or the bigger reason that I would go is if there was any chance that X-Men would hit or that they would have a couple copies of X-Men to sell.
get it early?
Yeah, and since it's within a couple of weeks of the official release date, I want to believe that they might, but I don't know, just justify me driving, 10 hours to spend probably like a day or 2 days there and then drive 10 hours back. These are the decisions I will wrestle with for the next couple months.
Well,
Oh,
if
and then, convincing my wife. That's the other
yeah.
always fun
If
part.
it changes anything, I might be going now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, me and my one friend, we're kind of in the middle of opening a new business or a new store for a business.
Okay.
And we've kind of decided we need to do a little more convention slash trade show times and just doing more research on the upcoming products. So we're kind of convincing our other business partners that this is a good idea and they should send us to it.
Very nice. All right. Can you pick me up a copy if they do have anything there?
Yeah, and then I'll drive up to New Jersey and drop it off.
All right. Yeah. It's only a quick 10 hours.
Yeah, if I'm coming from this side of Canada, I might as well make the rest of the trip.
That's a good point. You might as well go see New York City.
Yeah.
And since I'm, right near New York City, then there you go. You'll be driving right by my house.
I hear New Jersey's a pretty crummy place to visit.
Oh,
Depends on the part.
I only know this from like television.
Yeah. Television doesn't paint a pretty picture of New Jersey, that's for sure.
It's all Los Angeles and New York centric.
I think the big thing that all of us want to talk about is the Uncanny X-Men. Jesse more than us, I believe.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So Uncanny X-Men Dice Masters is scheduled, the expected release date anyways, is September 3rd, which this is the one I've also been waiting for and I'm super excited for as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious if it's really just, I mean, it's so quick after the initial release that it's probably just more characters and new abilities and new dice and stuff. But I can't imagine they would have added like rules or anything, or too many rules, if anything, right?
Yeah, I assume that they're just going to use the same rulebook insert for the package. I think it's going to feel more like an expansion pack, but made for people who don't have the game as well.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, it's very exciting to get more characters, adding more to the fold that you can possibly play with.
For sure. I'm pretty excited. I don't want to say I'm getting bored of the game yet, but I'm definitely getting to the point where I'm like, I think I've kind of found most of the possible combos that are available. I'm not like coming across anything anymore. I'm like, oh, this is a good idea. I should try this. So I'm excited to have more options.
Nice.
Yeah, adding to the pool can only be a good thing for people that like variety.
The big thing that came out of the news of the solicitations for the game is that the Gravity Feed's going to feature 90 packs instead of 60, like the previous release.
Now, did we find out that a case of them is 4 boxes? Do we know that?
This one says 2 units per case for the new set, but the old one was
6?
I think it was 6.
Yeah.
Really?
6
So
per case.
the cases are much smaller?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I was under the assumption that it'd be 4 per case, which, I mean, makes more sense if they're going to do a similar spread of super rares amongst a case than they did in the first set. But if it isn't, it kind of...
This kind of follows the hero clicks model. Is that correct?
Which way?
The count, the 90 count versus 60.
Oh, right. I
thought I had heard that, or maybe I read that somewhere.
When I was into Hero Clicks, they didn't even have the grav feeds then.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe they just started getting them. I'm going to bring one up right now. Take a look. I think Deadpool is the newest one. Can you imagine a Dice Master Deadpool set? crazy how they can choose one character for a whole set.
It's nice to see that they're saying that the game's going to feature more than 30 new characters. So right away you're going to have 30 new people, which we already know at least 15, 16, 17.
Yeah, I guess only a couple images have been released, but the latest was on the Dice Tower News segment.
Where they showed off 15 new characters who have not appeared in the previous set.
And then they were running a contest to basically name them, right?
Yeah, Tom had the contest where if you email Dice Tower Contest at, I think it was Gmail, I don't remember the exact email address, and you guessed all 15 dice, whoever had the most and most correct, they would enter them into a random draw and pick a winner to receive 2 playmats.
Okay, cool.
If I win, I'll trade you those, Kevin.
I actually have one of those playmats on pre-order, but if I win out, then you can cancel that.
Have you guys entered the contest?
I did, yeah.
I did as well.
Likewise, yes.
So we all have a chance. So I guess we should go over the dice that they're showing, unless Jesse, you have something to say.
No, I wonder if we all submitted the same stuff for it. I assume we probably did, but...
All right, so I'll quickly go through the first row of who I think they are. First character looks to be Pyro. Second character, many believe it's Falcon. Third character is Quicksilver. Fourth is Marvel Girl, and then fifth is Psylocke.
I agree.
I also agree.
Yeah, Falcon is the one that everyone can't seem to agree on, but when they do agree, it's always Falcon.
I had mentioned that I was on the hedge. Like, I was okay with the Psylocke dice being possibly Pixie, but as the days have rolled past, I think I'm fully on board. I think it is Psylocke for sure.
I was gonna say, they did mention that she's definitely in the game, so
yeah,
they give you a name beforehand, which is nice.
She's on the picture of the mock-up grab feed, the original one.
Yeah, which is the cover from Uncanny X-Men number something. I have no idea what number it is, but I know I definitely have it.
Yeah.
I guess we don't know which level that we're looking at of any of these.
No.
The first thing that jumps out is that nobody's like terribly powerful. Maybe the Sentinels. Juggernaut has a big attack.
I'm surprised Juggernaut isn't, like, he's pretty weak, like, health-wise or defense-wise.
Yeah, you think it would almost be the other way around, where he's unstoppable, but yeah, you think he'd be big for both.
Yeah, that's what I would assume, too.
He's always seemed like a big threat, but a big pushover at the same time, even though he's
just
quote,
dumb.
unstoppable.
They just
Yeah.
could lure him into things. And
That's what his low defense is representing.
Yeah. If you're fighting the Juggernaut and you have wet cement nearby,
a body of water.
All right. Did anybody want to do the second row?
Take it, Jesse.
Okay, so we got first dice, the Sentinels. The second dice, I believe to be Iceman, little snowflake. The third dice is Toad. And then the next one, which I think is Bishop. And the final dice of the row, I think most of us agree, is Mr. Sinister. Is that what we would say?
Yep.
All the same decisions that I had.
I cannot wait to see what his card does.
Make clones. Capture Scott Summers and Jean Grey.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if one of his effects are if you have like Phoenix, Scott, or Cyclops, or even Marvel Girl fielded, if he gets a special ability where he gets to automatically capture them or they can't play.
The ultimate counter for two guys.
That would be amazing. Amazing from a why did they do that standpoint.
Yeah.
I guess those are the tough decisions that designers have to make, is how thematic they want to keep things.
I mean, he's always been known for taking other X-Men and cloning them too, so
Right.
he could be just taking control of X-Men or making copies of them or something. But you wanna take the final row there, Kevin?
Sure. All right. So we got starting on the left, Cable, Juggernaut, Scarlet Witch, Emma Frost, and Namor, I think.
Yeah, I have a friend that loves Namor. I showed him the dice. He was a little hesitant at first, but I did quickly check some pictures to make sure I was confident in my assessment. But he always has wings on his feet, so it's got to be.
Yeah, I think a lot of people weren't sure about the maybe Cable dice, because a lot of people have bursts around their eyes as well.
Sure, but that's like classic Cable. That little weird glow thing that he's got going.
Maybe they'll give us X-Man.
X-Man. I remember X-Man. I was wondering if we're gonna see anything like after I thought about Mr. Sinister, if we're gonna see some like Savage Land stuff.
Or like Sauron
Yeah,
and
Sauron or whatever.
Kazar.
Those weird dinosaur guys are hunting people.
Yeah. I would love Forearm to be in the game.
That's so obscure.
I just want to have 4 arms.
It's like having Mojo. No one knows.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
No, everyone loves Mojo.
Television.
Okay, I'm gonna predict we're gonna see baby X-Men Dice Masters.
Oh, like a chibi version.
Yes, because that was the big thing with Mojo is that there's so many spin-off comics where it's baby X-Men, especially variant cover arts as well, where they're just like all trying to get food out of the fridge and other funny things. And you guys have obviously seen the covers, right?
Yeah.
They're pretty classic.
Yeah.
Oh, Mojo.
The other thing to take away from that image was the same characters characters that we've seen already in Avengers versus X-Men that are now getting reused, but with different color schemes. So you can definitely see Cyclops has a new color scheme, Angel has a new color scheme, Professor X we think has a new color scheme.
Great.
It's kind of tough to tell.
Now that I look at it, if you look on and then there's Angel right at the bottom right.
Bottom right, yeah. And then possibly Wolverine on the upper left. That's the one we don't kind of know.
Yeah, I just noticed that one. Also, it's dead center in the right, the purple dice. Do we have a dice that is that color? I don't think so.
Not that matches, no.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
That's
missed
gotta be a new one.
Yeah.
I just noticed it as well.
With the original pictures that were shown, that would actually match
Magneto?
the Magneto, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Which could even be a Zorn or Onslaught or something, depending on if it changed the symbol or not or whatever.
Yeah, I don't see any other dice from the previous shot either. Don't look different, other than the one with the wolf head, which doesn't make any sense. That could be Black Panther, but just colored incorrectly.
Yeah.
Seems weird to be getting this excited about the expansion for the game that I feel like I still haven't played enough. Yeah.
Oh, yes, my game's like just one a week. Sometimes not even get to play it certain weeks, which is a bummer. But
I mean, I think we've all kind of talked too that we're more X-Men fans than we are Avengers anyway. So
yeah,
maybe that's part of it.
So then, jumping off that bit, could you guys give me, say, your top 3 guys you hope are in this set that could be, not just like super obscure guys that aren't present in this one picture?
So I can't say Forearm. I'm gonna have to think for a second.
Well, you had mentioned last time that you were kind of hoping for like a Brotherhood faction, right?
Which very well could be present. Like we see a Toad, Juggernaut, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver,
Pyro.
I wonder if they're going to release because they have new Cyclops obviously card and dice. I wonder if they're going to release repeat cards for characters from the previous game that used the previous dice with. So if you could get a Mystique that has a Brotherhood emblem and use the previous dice with.
Yeah, that could be a very easy change.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely hoping that they do Brotherhood faction, or even with Emma Frost if they do a Hellfire faction as well.
They could even throw in even Blob. If they're gonna do it, they gotta have Blob in there.
Yeah, that's true.
Avalanche and
oh no, Avalanche. I think for 3 characters, I'm trying to think of non-obscure because I love the obscure people.
The X faction guys.
Oh my god. My favorite, like my number 1 favorite Marvel character is Shatterstar from X-Force.
Okay.
That's who I really want. Kevin? I need to think of 2 more.
Yeah, I don't know if I could name 3. But I mean, obviously the Apocalypse card you could kind of see it on the...
Yeah, we did see an Apocalypse card.
So that I'm very excited to see if it actually is real or if it ends up being like a prize or something.
That would have been one of mine.
Actually, I have my 3 now. Number 1, Shatterstar. Number 2, Hope. And number 3, Strife.
Strife.
Those would be my 3.
Maybe if I'll say my 3. Maybe that'll help you, Kevin. My number 1, which I think is most neglected in Marvel games, is Kitty Pryde. I'd really like to see a game version of her. Yeah, I was thinking Apocalypse, but I want to change my bad guy vote now.
Oh, I just thought of Arcade. I love Arcade.
Oh yeah.
I'm just thinking of all the villains now that I just absolutely love.
What's the what? I like the computer virusy guy. I can't remember what his name is. He's like black and yellow.
I want to call him Phalanx. Phalanx.
Phalanx? Isn't that
I
like?
think.
Oh, I think you might be right.
Yeah, I just didn't want to butcher his name.
Oh, we'll butcher plenty.
They called him not Warlock, or he refers to himself as Self.
Right.
Like, but
Yeah.
I can't remember what his name is. And I feel
Well,
like a horrible fan now.
I think Sebastian Shaw is one that I'd really like to see because he's such a big X-Men bad guy and Hellfire, obviously. But yeah, I'd really like to see him, or even Master Mold.
Oh, Master Mold.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the Brood would be great too.
Right.
Or any of the Warlocks.
Mm,
You get Leech and Callisto
I
Yeah.
love Leech. Leech is awesome.
and
Yeah.
Caliban.
Oh yeah, Caliban. He's a big. He was a horseman.
He was two of them, which is I think he was War and Death, if I
Okay.
remember correct. I know he had two roles.
Right.
And
Yeah,
then
there's definitely some cool
Jubilee.
people.
Obviously, everybody wants to see
Oh
Jubilee.
my gosh, I actually really am falling in love with Jubilee right now in the
Really?
new comics. They kind of made her like she's like a vampire now. She's
I
like
was about to ask if she was still a vampire.
yeah, she's like a vampire slash has a kid and it's really they've done a lot with her.
Did she get her powers back?
I don't think so.
Okay.
She's just a vampire.
That was the whole Curse of the Mutants.
Yeah, the Scarlet
yeah.
Witch thing, which I haven't finished because it's so huge. I've read all the main ones, but not all the side stuff. Oh, the one I was talking to my friend. The one hero I really hope that I see in the set, not Red Hulk, obviously, is my real number one pick. But I don't know if you guys read Deadpool, but in an older Deadpool book, he used to have this guy named Bob. He was a Hydra agent. I'm just looking at a Deadpool picture and it just came back to me. This guy is like hilarious. I really hope they make Bob. He's like the bad guy that really sucks, and he goes to like Hydra and AIM, and he just tries to get jobs at all these crappy bad guy places, and he's really bad at it and gets fired. I just find him absolutely hilarious. Anyways, we should move on.
Did we want to go to the Eric Lang tweets?
Yes.
Because he tweets a ton about the game
Yeah, he does.
without actually tweeting about it.
He's so clever in the way he words things to make sure he doesn't slip up stuff. I mean, he has tons of like legal ramifications if he does slip up stuff.
Oh yeah.
But still, I want to know. I want him to tell me Ninja Turtles is coming.
Yes. His tweet from May 2nd was drafting plans for 3 different Dice Master sets.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that. So they're Nintendo, and
And it's just one person asked him, are all Dice Master games going to be compatible? Which we all know, yes, they are.
And then there was another one later on, wasn't there? Oh, about the Easter eggs. Dice Master set Mike and I are currently working on is so loaded with nerderific Easter eggs, I'm still cracking up. That was on May 14th.
See, that makes me think of Transformers almost.
yeah, it's got to be some 80s
For no reason.
something.
80s or 90s.
I mean,
Maybe it'll be Street
oh
Sharks.
my gosh, Street Sharks.
Street Sharks.
Do Street Sharks make it to America?
I know I've heard of them. I don't remember actually watching.
Or we could always get Mummies Alive
Oh my
Dice
gosh,
Masters.
that's like
We can just name all the horrible
Biker
cartoon
Mice
shows.
from Mars.
Bucky O'Hare.
Oh, those are so bad. I actually love Street Sharks. They had awesome toys, like giant rubber sharks.
Off topic, but you can buy the complete series on DVD. I think for like $10 on Amazon. It's ridiculously cheap. It's
Street
disgusting.
Sharks didn't even have like 20
Yeah.
episodes.
I'd assume 13. It's kind of like My Pet Monster, where there's like literally only 13 episodes and nothing more.
Well, let's
Oh,
find
okay.
out right now while we talk. $8 actually.
$8, look at that. Complete series.
40
many
episodes.
episodes?
Wow. That
40,
is
wow.
Super surprising. It's like the sticker right smack dab on the middle of the thing. They gotta remember let you know they had 40 episodes.
Wow.
For $8, it's a steal.
Add to cart.
Sold.
That I think that Cookie Jar puts those out.
The company that makes it.
Cookie Jar, or there's
No,
another
it's
place.
Cookie Jar that does it.
Is it Cookie? Okay, yeah.
Anyway.
Great company. Anyways, super off topic. Buy Rocco's Modern Life while you're at it.
Oh my.
I think that was the Eric Lang tweets. The next part is still no FAQ for the game.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen, but there have been some insanely heated debates on Board Game Geek about rules interpretations. So I gotta believe the clamoring for an FAQ is kind of reaching the boiling point at this point.
You gotta assume it's gonna come out before OP, right? Like you can't have like organized play going on and people playing wrong all over the country or all over the world.
Yeah, I would think so. So, I mean, we're within 2 or 3 weeks of some of the OP events probably starting. So I gotta believe, sometime either by the end of this month or early June that FAQ will get released. I have no idea if they do them for HeroClix. I gotta believe they do though, right?
I think so, yeah. They're a little different.
Well, hopefully in the Uncanny X-Men they release updated rules, if possible. Because I know some people said that there were errors in the rule book for the first set. I have no idea what they are, but...
Oh, I noted one myself, and I wish I had the rule book.
I remember you had mentioned it to me. I can't remember what it is now.
It is on the last page, the lexicon. Oh, where is it? Oh, maybe they think. Oh, nope. Assign to commit your monsters to attack or to block an attacking monster.
Awesome. Maybe the next set will be monsters like Godzilla and Mothra and stuff.
Oh my god, that'd be great too.
Maybe that's
just anything.
Maybe that's the Easter egg.
It doesn't even matter what property it is.
I love old monster movies so much. That would be so great. Frankenstein and Dracula.
The Universal monsters.
So yeah, that is, I think, all of the news we have up to date.
Oh my gosh, that was so long.
That was a lot of news.
Contest. Take it away.
All right,
Kevin.
I am happy to report that the winner of the previous contest was Joe Mankin from Texas, I think he was. He has already received, I actually ended up sending him his booster pack last weekend. He opened it and wrote me an email to tell me he got 2 super rares, then said, just kidding, I got, it was a common and uncommon, and I don't believe he had a starter pack yet, so he was still waiting for his to come in, so he was very appreciative, and I'm glad that we could help him out with his collection.
Right on.
So yeah, we'll go ahead and do another one since the first one was successful.
Before you start that, we didn't get to guess which character it was because we were on the podcast.
Oh yeah, what was the question again?
Oh, the question was, which character was I most excited about in episode 0?
Do you remember, Jesse?
Do you actually know the answer?
I feel like I do.
Wait, give me 1 second and let me take an educated guess based upon what I know about Kevin.
And it'd be super embarrassing if it's wrong.
Well, it'll be wrong. But
I don't know if you saw it was on the Facebook page too. I don't know if you.
I do remember reading it. That's the sad part. Oh my goodness. Okay, honest. The one name my gut wants to say is just Wolverine. That's what I want to say.
No.
But my head is telling me something.
Yeah, your gut
else.
is wrong.
My gut is stupid. Okay, here's my guess.
Okay.
The Punisher.
No.
Still incorrect.
I don't know.
My guess was Colossus.
Oh,
and that
yeah.
was correct.
Yes.
Dang
Now you remember.
That's all coming back to me.
And yeah, I don't know if you saw the Facebook post or not, but did you guys ever play the arcade game?
Oh my goodness. I still play it weekly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a local store that has one nearby me.
Oh, really?
Oh, man, that is awesome.
I pester them like every few months just trying to like buy it off them.
Wow.
Yeah, so every time we went there and played, I would almost 5% of the time be Colossus, and the other 5% I think I was Wolverine.
Not Dazzler?
But yeah, I was so excited when I opened a Colossus pack, and then I was like, oh man, I'm thinking of that noise he makes in the game, and then sure enough, I found it on YouTube, repeating clip for like 9 minutes.
Ringtone.
As you said,
Yeah.
that's perfect ringtone.
So yes, the answer was Colossus, and I'm pretty sure everybody that answered got it right. So
Awesome.
so yeah, we'll go ahead and do another contest. If everybody wants to participate again, they are welcome to. I will caveat it that if you are not from North America, we're probably going to have to work out some other way of getting you a booster pack. And if that's me buying a booster pack from a local store for you, or me PayPaling you the dollar equivalent, I'm willing to do it. But shipping a booster pack overseas is probably not cheap. So I will just put that caveat out there. The prize will be one booster pack this time that I pulled from a store not too long ago. So it's not like it's just a random booster pack from a random store, as far as I can tell. The question that I'll ask this week is, in episode 1, I actually opened a booster pack on the podcast, and I pulled out 2 characters, named those characters, and you will be entered into the contest. Just send us an email at bachelorsofdice@gmail.com.
And the website, if we're going to go through a little bit of the podcast information as well, is thebachelorsofdice.wordpress.com.
Correct. And really, that's just currently housing our it's basically the feed for our podcast.
And then if you want to catch our old episodes, you can find us on our YouTube page under Critical Hits Entertainment. But you could also just YouTube Bachelor of Dice podcast, and you'll find us pretty easily.
And then we're going to be getting a gameplay video up soon.
Hopefully soon. Once it's done editing together. The framework is done. It's just getting it synced up from both camera angles, which was a little bit harder than I anticipated.
Yeah, I think we've got some growing pains there, but I think the next couple times we try it out, we'll just get better and better at it and streamline the process.
I know everybody's using Google Hangouts to do live stream plays of it, which might be, the quality won't be as high, definitely won't be as high, but it could be easier next time. But I guess we'll see.
Okay. And yeah, Facebook, you can find us on Facebook, Bachelors of Dice. I try and post news when it comes up, and other random thoughts regarding the game. But we are up to, I believe, somewhere in the 30-31 like range right now. So
Nice.
Getting a little following here. It's good.
I guess if anybody uses Twitter, I'm always on there. You can tweet at me if you have any questions about the podcast you want us to answer. My account for the podcast is at Dice Masters Game.
Which is super, super. People think that you're official.
Yeah, and
which is
multiple times I had to let people know it's like fan. I had to change a lot of stuff on it. So I think my name shows up as Bachelor of Dice or Bachelors of Dice Adam.
I liked it better the first time. So we're up to 40 subscribers on our YouTube, which is
awesome.
Nice.
So hopefully we can start pumping out some more stuff for you guys. I'm currently working on another project aside from this, so maybe that'll have some interest to you other guys.
Yeah, we definitely won't take as long between episodes either.
Oh, this was, I think it's 3 weeks?
Yeah, it was just timing conflicts, technical difficulties, everything just seemed to conspire against us. And thanks for listeners for sticking with us.
Yeah, we can talk about what will be hopefully on the next episode, because I know Kevin has really been wanting to do player card reviews for a few weeks now, and we keep on getting bombarded with news.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a valid segment, I feel, to go through all the cards. Like I said in I think one of the previous episodes, or maybe just in Skyping in general, that hopefully we have a wide cross section of people listening, people that are casually interested in the game, people that are really interested in the game, and going through the cards maybe character by character, a couple at a time, I think would be useful to give each other insights. Probably more so me than anybody else, but I'll take them because I need all the help I can get. And going through the cards, evaluating them against each other, finding out who combos well with who, stuff like that. I think will make for some good discussions in the future.
Did we have any, I guess, news about if we are taking on any guests coming on to the podcast with us?
We had mentioned that we were going to bring it up, and I just forgot to put it in the notes, actually. Yes, we did receive a fair amount of interest in participating in the podcast, and obviously we can't have everybody. So I think what we're going to do is offer out some guest spots over the coming episodes, and see what happens from there. So if you already emailed us and expressed interest in participating, thank you. We received your email, and we'll probably be contacting you in the coming month or two.
Should we just say instead, if you're interested or still interested, shoot us a new email?
Yeah, that'd be fine too.
So put in your subject line, Bachelors of Dice podcast guests, hosts.
Sure.
Yeah, that works. And email us at bachelorsofdice@gmail.com.
We could throw in too, if those of you who are listening, if you have any other comments or suggestions or praises or boos on us you want to throw down, just shoot us an email or comment on our videos or whatever, and we're more than welcome to hear any of that.
We love feedback.
Yeah, we'd like to know where we can get a little better, or what we're doing right, or what you guys want to see more of. So yeah, let us know.
All right, and I guess we can go into our closing segment.
Well, this is where we would talk about Days of Future Past, but unfortunately Jesse hasn't seen it yet, so.
I'm sorry, guys. Just got off work. I'm going to see it hopefully tomorrow. My wife is more than happy to see Marvel movies with me, so.
Yeah, this was one that I had actually targeted a while ago, that I was like, if there was a movie that I was going to see on a midnight showing, I guess this would probably be it. So my friend and I went last night, and fortunately the show actually started at 10.
Wow.
It was still over after midnight, but didn't stay out as late as I could have. So that was good.
Yeah, I know my theater was showing it, I think, at 10:40 yesterday, but I saw the 4:30 show today.
I can't believe I saw Spider-Man opening day and not X-Men.
Ugh, Spider-Man.
What was I thinking?
I haven't seen Spider-Man yet, but you are welcome to spoil it if you guys wanted to talk about that.
It's good. I liked it.
I haven't seen it, but my friend told me about it, and I was just like, just give me the details. I don't care at all.
I really like the actors, so I don't know. I thought it was good. It kind of nails the few comics that it's loosely based around. The building of the Sinister Six and the death of Gwen Stacy and all that jazz.
Oh, did I hear? Spoiler alert there. But did I hear they're making a Venom movie?
Says who? Like a Flash Thompson Venom? That would be awesome.
Maybe I just made that up.
I know his symbiote was in the movie.
Was it?
From what I heard, it was shown with like the vulture wings and the octopus arms.
I don't remember that, but it appears that there will be a Venom movie.
Oh, okay.
As part of the Amazing Spider-Man universe, and is set before Amazing Spider-Man 4. Oh my goodness.
Huh.
I wonder if Topher Grace will be back.
Please no.
He wasn't that bad.
I always pictured Eddie Brock as being a giant built photographer. But maybe that's just because of the old cartoon.
Yeah. Oh, with the 90s like shoulder pads and their jackets. And they all look really boxy.
I love that 90s cartoon. Don't you dare.
I love it too, but there's times where something would be happening and there's almost like a slowdown in the animation where they have to add extra frames and it looks really stuttery.
Spider Sense, come on.
The worst episodes in that series is whenever an X-Men was on it because they just looked horrible.
Oh, what about the Captain America one?
Yeah. For the Captain America, are you saying the X-Men version?
Oh yeah, he was in X-Men, not that.
Season 5 of the X-Men was done by a different animation studio, so that's why it looks really weird. The entire season's horrible. And Wolverine doesn't have claws. He has like claws built into a stick that he uses to climb walls.
What? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, you have to rewatch season 5. It's just brutal.
I own it. Man, that makes me sad inside.
Yeah, he has like he looks like a bank robber. Wolverine. It's right on the back of the DVD case.
I have it in my room. I'm gonna grab it right now.
Yeah, go do it and just look and be like, oh, this looks like garbage. Who drew this? It's bad.
Oh my goodness. He is wearing a toque or a beanie for you Americans. What the junk? Oh my gosh. The cover
This
looks
is on the-
awesome.
The
Got
X-Men
Mojo.
animated series.
Omega Red, Red Skull. Oh my gosh, I'll have to watch this. So next episode, we're gonna do some card reviews. Yeah.
More gameplay impressions.
Maybe there'll be a crap load more news. Hopefully we'll be within a week and a half, 2 weeks. Other than that, do we got any other things we want to throw out?
I think I'm good.
Yeah, I'm pretty good too.
You want to close us out there?
Sure. Thank you for listening to the episode. We hope you join us for the next one.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.